What's going on, Bass-TEC fans? Welcome to our Hooked Up Live. This week, we will be doing our own interview with Daniel Nicolai and Clell Carnes. We'll get them on here in just a moment. Want to take a brief second here, go through that of all of our sponsors and how thankful we are for each and every one of them that makes these Hooked Up Lives possible. G2 Gemini jerseys. Folks, if you haven't got over there, get on their website, Google search them, G2 Gemini jerseys. We are giving 25% off. You don't have to be an angler within the ePropulsion TEC. All you have to do is just enter in the code whenever you complete your order, any order, 25% off. It is G2 Georgia 2020, or it's G2 Georgia 21. Sorry about that. So G2 Georgia 21. G2 Gemini jerseys, angler jerseys, they are awesome. Get over there and check them out. We appreciate their sponsorship. Lion Taming Serum. If you haven't got on their Facebook page, get over, check them out. It is cold weather out there, and it really helps out for keeping those eyelets from freezing up. They also have the line conditioner also that helps out with memory coil. You ever had those problems making those casts out there on the lake? Get over there and check them out. Lion Taming Serum. They're on Facebook as well. Appreciate that of their sponsorship through with us. Lithium Pros. If you have not put your hands on a set of lithium batteries, you're missing out. Get over and check out Lithium Pros. There you have their Facebook page, their website. Tell them that we sent you, and I guarantee you will not take and be displeased with the price that they will offer for our group. So get over and check them out, Lithium Pros. Let them know that I sent you. Appreciate that of their sponsorship through with it. We have the Dugout Bait and Tackle. If you haven't been down to Marietta, get down there, check them out. Craig, Jamie, would love to see you. They've got all the bait that you need, all the tackle, rods, reels, everything possible to get out there on the water and catch some fish. So get down there, check them out. They'd be glad to see you. If you're also interested in buying some kayaks, they are your kayak supplier down there. Anywhere around close locally, they have got the most kayaks of anyone around. And they have got some really, really tricked out kayaks down there. So appreciate that of them sponsoring through with our Hooked Up Lives. We have Nate's Custom Boats. Nate's Custom Boats and Accessories. A lot of folks probably hadn't made that drive distance up to Illinois and checked them out. If you have not got on YouTube, got on social media platforms and checked out Nate's Custom Boats, I strongly urge you, get on there and check out all of his custom fabrication works that he does. It is amazing work. If you're looking at trying to get as simple as a recessed trolling motor tray, if you're wanting to take and deck out your boat and get everything all custom built, Nate is your guy to talk to. So we appreciate them sponsoring. We'll be giving a $30 gift certificate. So make sure tonight, all you have to do is leave us a comment. You'll be entered in for the drawing. So we appreciate Nate's Custom Boats sponsoring. Star Lures. I just got my order in, y'all. I should have brought it downstairs. It's upstairs. They have got an awesome lineup, soft plastics. It is amazing. John's got some molds in, and he is making a lot. So we appreciate their sponsorship through for our Hooked Up Lives. Get on Facebook, check them out, Star Lures. They have got a lot of different variety of soft plastic baits and also making terminal tackles. So we appreciate them sponsoring through with our Hooked Up Lives. And that is it. So here we go. Let's start the show. We have Mr. Nicolai, Mr. Carnes.
How you doing? How's it going?
Yeah, doing good, doing good. So y'all are the points champions, and y'all hadn't concluded very long ago through with representing in the 2021 ePropulsion TEC Coldwater Bass Club. So congratulations, men.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And just to add a little twist to it, y'all are not very unfamiliar faces. Y'all been around through with the past couple of years, right? As well through with the TEC.
Yeah, yeah. This is my third year. This is my second year. Yeah.
So we have a haven't even been running the ePropulsion TEC for 3 years now, and y'all already got a combination of 5 years experience. So that's an angle up on everybody, ain't it?
Yeah, just got to put it together now.
Well, the $1 million question that I've got, I just want to know, who is the net man with y'all?
That'd be me. Hey, I'm a great net man. Fishing with Nicolai, you got to be. I have my here. I do some netting.
Yep. So, guys, going through all these comments of folks here, appreciate everybody tuning in with us, watching tonight. Make sure we're going to keep this very interactive along throughout the show periodically. Drop us some comments. If you have some questions that you want to put both of these anglers on the spot, I'm talking, make them sweat it tonight. I'm sure they will absolutely love that. So just write the comments out, questions you want to ask them. If you've got a funny story or anything that they maybe can elaborate on. So I want to go ahead and just kind of dive right into something that when we did the pre-interview and we talked a little bit, and you, Nicolai, I believe you had sent me something. Nicolai and Carnes goes way back.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that started in the 1980s. His dad and my dad. So,
and just to put it in perspective, this was. I mean, I can't help it, and then just by looking at this picture, I mean, I could see y'all's dads directly in y'all both. I mean, without a doubt, to a T.
Yeah, I think it's crazy and cool, you know. Them fishing together then and us now, and you're right, we kind of look the same. It makes it easy coming from the same background, you know. Fishing in the back of the boat with them. We were raised on the same styles of fishing, so it's really fun out there, and you know. I always enjoy fishing with Nicolai. He does everything I like to do, and he makes it easy.
That's awesome. So I mean, I had that up for just a second ago. You can read through this article. I don't know if folks is able to take and, you know, probably not able to really zoom in and see it much, but I'm sure y'all both probably know this history to this article about, you know, and I'll go ahead and say it, the Dead Sea win that they done. Which back in the day, it probably wasn't necessarily probably called the Dead Sea back then, was it?
No, back then that lake was pretty good, you know. It got beat up pretty good through the 90s.
So they were fishing a tournament trail called the Georgia Bass Buddy Tournament Trail. The article says it was held on October the 12th, 1987 at Lake Allatoona. There were 127 teams, and they blasted off at Little River Marina. So, and I think if I remember right, it even goes into here. Correct me, is this a GON magazine article or a newspaper?
I think that's actual newspaper, but I mean we have a lot of GON articles back then with him, and even with me and my dad, we got a lot of articles.
Which I don't know. Maybe somebody can leave a comment on this. I don't know the answer to this. Maybe when GON, you know, formed as far as creating, you know, the magazine and stuff. I really don't remember that. So they put it out here saying their number one baits that they caught their tournament winnings fish was on rattle traps at Allatoona, fishing those flats, wasn't it?
Yep. They you know, there's probably 5 baits that they probably always had tied on. It was always probably a rattle trap, a Carolina rig, a spinner bait, buzz bait during the summer or spring, and a jig. And a crankbait diving crankbait, and that's what they live by. It's kind of still what I live by.
And you know, this is what impressed me. This happened in October 12th, 19, I believe it says 87, 1987. And they had, what was it, 7 fish limit. So it wasn't 5 fish limits back then, it was 7 fish limit. And they weighed in 12.64 pounds that they won $1,034. That's an impressive payout for 1987, ain't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was. Back then, yeah.
Actually, let me rephrase that. I am sorry. That was for second place. First place was $2,067. So that is impressive. It had a total, if you look down to the bottom of the article, top 25 teams received $9,525 payback. And then also, I believe it's six or $835 for the big fish pot. So that's over $10,000 purse of payout. So man, that was a serious win.
Yeah. Another series I fished was laughing bass. Laughing bass was real big.
Laughing bass.
Yeah, laughing bass.
So do you know the history of the name to how it come about being called laughing bass?
I don't, but I'm sure I could ask Pops and he'll know.
Well, if anybody's got, history there, leave us a comment. Let us know what in the world. And that wasn't the only article. I mean, here's another article that had happened as well. Again, another time fishing. Here's the name again. Through with Nicolai and Carnes, taking and coming through for another win again on Allatoona. So it just amazes me, man, to see this history. And this was, I believe it says by GON staff. So reckon that one came from GON magazine, maybe?
Yeah, probably.
I was trying to find a year on that one. It says Saturday, October 10th, but obviously it doesn't have the year in on it. So, but man, that is awesome. It said there, I believe, again, first place, they won $2,067. And again, what was it? What was the bait that they won it off of?
Rattle trapper spinner bait. I don't know.
It says casting a blue back and chrome. That blue and chrome rattle trap. That is awesome, man. To see that history and y'all have that knowledge from y'all's dads, I'm sure, from being out there on the water, right?
Yeah, I got another article from GON in there where it shows the rattle trap and all that. Grab it, man. Let's see.
Did you say you're grabbing something?
Which one has the rattle trap article?
Yeah. You talking to me?
I'm talking to my son. We got another article.
Ah.
It's all over. It's all about the blue chrome rattle trap.
It is. So I'm gonna get to these questions we got coming in. Travis wound up saying, "Was that the black and chrome?"
No, it's blue and black, or blue and chrome.
Blue and chrome.
And then you got the blue and chrome with the tiger pattern.
So I'm gonna get back while you're okay. Go ahead. I'm gonna do your full screen. So that way, hang on one second. Let me get you on full screen layout here. Oh, check it out. We got some color now. Look at that rattle trap. Yep.
Got that glare.
And that was on Allatoona as well?
No, this is at Lake Oconee.
Lake Oconee. That rattle trap still catches them at Lake Oconee too, don't it?
I like the more paint wore off of it, I think it catches more fish.
I've got quite a few that's broken in like that. Same way. Love it.
But we'll actually take the rattle trap and we'll shave the bottom or the top of the nose off. Maybe even put some wear spots on the side of it, intentionally.
A lot of people do that this time of year, taking baits and sanding them down and making them to where they have that rougher finish to kind of, bait this time of year probably don't look the best that it's, going to look. So it kind of helps out a little bit. So we had a question here. Landry Johnson, I'm going to back up your question just in a second, being that I kind of want to stay within line with the question we got in topic right now. Do y'all know exactly how, like, methods, how did they fish the trap? I'm sure y'all been on the water enough and know maybe some techniques.
Just, man, I mean, yo-yo it or, off the bottom, or do a lot of reel and stop, and then changing up the speed. You got to figure out what they want that day, play with it.
What do you think, Clell?
Yeah, you got to pay attention to how the fish hit it when you got, when you get bites, when you get bit. You really need to, know if you was, hit it on the fall, when you was, reeling it in, or, really just keying in on basically when the fish hits you. But yeah. I mean, I'll even reel it, 6 to 8 times and give it a hard jerk, like a jerk bait.
Like ripping it out of the grass.
Yeah, there ain't no grass, just that reaction of it. And they'll usually hit it on the fall after you get done jerking it.
So, and I'm going to kind of expand a little bit on that. Do y'all predominantly like to see throwing a trap like shallow water, targeting the shallow flats, or is it a potential of a deep water bait?
Both. Depending on time of the year. Usually coming out of the fall, going in the winter, I'll usually kind of burn it. Summertime, I'll do more, pauses and the jerks and slow it down a little bit.
So I've only, me and my partner, and I have a love-hate relationship with a rattle trap. I have only had, me and him both, which he's probably had better days than I have out on the water and stuff, but on big lakes, fishing Gunnersville and stuff like that. But our biggest bag we've ever weighed in came on throwing rattle traps. I mean, we had 23-17, and I've not been able to duplicate that ever since. It was a shallow water lake, but I guess that's how it goes. Some days it just works better, right?
Yeah, I mean, and also we ain't scared to throw a 1 ounce. Well, loves a 1 ounce rattle trap. We use that to get it down deep, It works. Yeah,
do y'all think the red eye and the red eye shads make a difference or not?
I mean, yeah, a little bit. We've always been a Bill Lewis kind of guy. We kind of stuck by them most of our life.
You same way, Clell?
Yes, sir. I got a box full of red eye, rattle traps, but I tend to stick to my Bill Lewis and my, my roots.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it goes back to roots what we grew up on. That's just what we're used to and comfortable with.
My dad, he'll throw that rattle trap out there, and then he'll just slow reel it, get it about 7-8 foot, and then just sort of lift up on it, sort of fish it real slow, and sort of lifting up slow, sort of like a worm, reeling it and constant. And he's taught me a lot. So you can fish a rattle trap so many different ways. I love a rattle trap.
So I have not fished it. Have y'all fished the 2 taps?
No.
I think they call the 2 tap tungstens in them.
No, sir.
I was just curious on it. I actually recently had seen them in a store, and I was just kind of like, man, I need to break down and just try that, but I have not done it yet. So let's dive in here to our next question we've got, folks. Make sure get on there, leave us some questions you want these anglers to answer for. Landry Johnson's got might be a hot seat question here. Where did y'all catch that big fish at Coldwater, top 6, and what bait?
It was a drop shot.
Drop shot at the bridge.
I believe that's what I told him that day.
No, I've been using my live side a lot here lately, and it really paid off for us in that tournament. We probably only would have had 2 fish if it wasn't for it.
Oh, wow. So that live site really just makes it where you can just take the guessing game out of it.
It did. I mean, you can see the way the fish react to it, and you have to drop a different color or work it different, you know.
So for those that was not aware of it, how big was that fish?
Weighed
6'9".
6'9" or yeah, 6'9".
6'9".
So you were physically watching it on screen, seeing how big it was, and knew what you was casting to.
Yep.
How long from the moment you seen it? How long did it take to get it to bite?
It's funny because really what I've been seeing lately is I can't really see the fish right there on the bottom. I'll actually drop the lure down to the bottom and work it, but then I'll have to pull it up so the fish, I can see the fish move up, and then they come into the screen. But I'll start pulling it away from them, you know what I mean? And they go to chasing. But I actually can't see the fish on the bottom. If I drop the bait down there, I can work it and then pull it up, and that's it.
So I want to ask this because I mean we seen it at the TEC back in November. Is it challenging? Because I have not done it yet. Is it challenging as the co-angler, Clell, being that he's got the graph right there in front of him, seeing it? Do you go up front with him and get into casting action too?
No, sir. Usually, you know, Daniel's up there. He's messing with the screen, and we're in an area where I can turn and cast out for some structure, hump, whatever, some trees, and I'll be fishing a Carolina rig, a jig, or something like that, and while he's up there spooning. So it's a good little combo.
Yeah, I think it's too much. You've got too many baits going on at one time and tie of an area.
Yeah.
It's best if one just regular fish and the other one does that. I mean, Clell might catch more than me, and I might not catch nothing. But we're doing 2 styles, so
yeah. So Jeffrey's got a question here. How do y'all like to fish the trap? Both of y'all. Give us y'all's rundown. How do y'all fish them?
You want to go first? Sure. Usually I'll start out throwing it out, and I'll burn it one time, and I'll throw it out again, and I'll let it sink, and I'll reel it, real slow and sort of lift up on it, and then the next time I'll sort of rip it, and I'll sort of go through a lot of different techniques. Let it sink to the bottom, and then slow reel it. I mean, I'll go through all kinds of techniques, and then I'll sort of key in on where I'm getting my bites at and what depth, and try to mimic what I was doing when I got a bite. That's the way I fish it. It's different every day.
Yeah, usually I'll throw a half ounce most of the time. I'll throw it, count 5 or something, depending on the depth. I'll let it sink. I won't get it down there to the 3 tops with a hard labor. Or just another lake barn or something. I want to get it closer to the bottom or something. And you just got to play with it. You just got to see what's working that day. It might take an hour. It might take half a day.
Yep.
You got to see what the fish want.
So I thought of something earlier when we was talking about rattle trap. Glad we're kind of centering back towards that. Do y'all like to keep the standard hooks that come on them, or do y'all like to change them out?
The new Bill Lewis rattle traps that come out, they got pretty good hooks on them now. Before we had to change them out. Big one. And I would always change the back one out. Now they made a correction, so they're good to go at the wrap.
Do y'all like to add a larger size to the back of the hook? Y'all keep the same size?
I keep mine the same size.
Yeah, sometimes I'll put a bleeding red hook on the front of my rattle trap on a couple of them. Not all of them, but yeah, some of them I'll change out to the red. But I like them.
So that's what I was trying to fish for on an answer there. I was wanting to see if y'all's believer in them red hooks or not.
Landry knows about a rattle trap. He's fished with me before. We actually want to turn the rattle trap at one.
Shoot, yeah. So Jeff Davidson said the red eyes work really good. So Travis Simmons made a comment here saying the two taps get some good whenever it's hot outside. So I could probably see that where it's not as that two tap's got a different sound to it. Maybe that maybe colder, dingier water, more rattle, more loudness to it, or more in it that gives a different sound. So just a two tap. So that's pretty good. Kevin Beatty's got a question. Do y'all ever drag a rattle trap on the bottom? Just dragging it?
I don't too much. What about you?
I usually don't drag it. I'm wanting to stay in contact with the bottom a lot of times with it. So when it's hitting it, I like to feel the bottom with it, especially on rock and stuff. But I usually don't just drag it. I might yo-yo it and rip it where it gets that rattle, and then and then. But usually, that's about it.
So with the rattle trap, I'm sure y'all would agree with this. How many times have y'all got hooked up in structure and get just literally sit there trying to get it out of it, and then the fish come along and eat it?
Crankbait, plenty of times.
Yeah, it happens a lot when I'm fishing grass and I'm hung up in it and I rip it out of it and then want to latch onto it. I enjoy that.
Yep. So Mac Dole saying hello to everybody from Mac Attack Heads. A lot of people I know utilize them Mac Attack heads.
Yeah, Mac's a great guy. I've been purchasing some swim bait heads and some other products from them. I love them.
Shoot, yeah. So Kevin's got another question. Good question. Do y'all use glass and graphite composite rods, or one or the other? I'm assuming that's through maybe with trapping or just in general. General rods would be fine.
Yeah, I mean, all I use is bucket, white ice or pro staff or black ice. That's all I have. Cranking rods, and I think I got two heavy rods, which they're A-Rig and Carolina Rig.
What about you, Clell?
Yeah, I got a few duckets and I got a few old graphite rods that are real stiff. I still use, but yeah,
They're not your favorites.
yeah, they're not my favorites, but I do I like when I set the hook on a jig fish or something like that. I like that stiff rod to get a hook in good.
So just to reiterate this, Kevin was specifically talking about rattle trap rods.
Okay. I mean, really, just a good 7-foot cranking rod. I mean, is what I use.
Y'all like a soft tip to it, so that way it gives some.
It's got a little give.
Yeah, I like it to have a little give on the tip.
Otherwise, you can pull that trigger too soon. That stiffer tip, snatch it right out of the mouth.
Yeah, because y'all would agree with this too. It's no different than throwing bigger style baits, bulkier baits like flutter spoons or big crank baits. You get that extra leverage. Same thing with a rattle trap. That weight that's there with it. I mean, when they come up, they can sling them hooks pretty easily.
Yeah. You want a little give.
They usually hook themselves, and you just want something to keep the tension on them.
Yep. Good question. So Ron Pendergrass, he's got a question. What kind of size line do y'all use? I'm assuming through with rattle trapping.
I throw 15 pounds.
We both use Berkeley big game trial and saltwater. I switch back and forth depending on the clarity of what lake I'm going to. 15 and 12, 12 the lowest I go.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and you can't go wrong with that big game.
Yeah.
It's cheap. You can afford to replace it about every tournament. And it's good line as long as I ain't got no nicks.
And just to throw this in there, if y'all, Nicolai, you've got it. Clell, you've got it, I believe, from fishing it previously. But even if you get that monofilament on there after a couple times out and you start getting that memory coal, you put a couple drops back into that line taming serum. If y'all haven't, if folks listen, if y'all have not tried their product, just try it. I promise you, when you make that first cast after it, I mean, it hums, don't it, guys?
Oh, yeah.
So that is awesome. Travis Simmons, what's the best advice you could give to fishing the Carolina rig on these reservoirs?
I like heavyweight. I want to feel everything I touch. Great. It's a great tool to learn something new, new spots, so you can feel what's there. You can cast it further. You can cover more water. I usually use a 12-pound leader on 15-pound main, just so maybe I don't lose the whole rig if I do get snagged. I throw smaller hooks because I want my worm to float more off the bottom.
Good point.
Because it gives a little more action. And that's all I got. I use a 7.6 heavy. I use a bigger weight. 7.3 or 7.6 medium heavy is also good. I like it too.
Clell, what about you?
Yeah, I guess the best advice I could give is, always stay in contact and keep your line tight because, I know I catch myself doing it sometime, and if you give yourself a little slack and you just not in contact with the bottom at all times, you'll miss them bites when they're biting real finicky and real slow, So you just keep that line tight, and I like to, Nicolai, I like to drag my worm sometimes. I like to like throw it out there and then let the wind and all that drip down and edge of the ledges and stuff like that. And when it's a tough bite, it tends to trigger a bite.
Me and him fish is different. He has a drag, a pull to the side, down low. I usually work mine up and down.
So it's kind of best of both worlds you've got there covering.
Yeah, we fishing definitely different, so they both work.
So Travis Simmons said, very wise man once told me that there ain't no shame in big game.
I like that.
That's good. I really like that statement there. That's pretty good. So Jason Brown has got a tough question here, I'm sure, to put y'all on the spot, but let's try to throw him a bone somehow, okay? Can y'all tell him any of, I don't necessarily want to say secret places, but places to fish at Hard Labor Creek Reservoir? He's reaching out. He's saying he needs some help.
All right. I ain't too many secrets there, but go wrong with
I'm gonna, while y'all are gathering your thoughts, here's the best thing I would say from all anglers would agree to this. You got to have confidence, right? If you got a computer, obviously you're watching this tonight, you've got a computer or you're using a phone. If you don't, get yourself a computer, download Google Earth, go back in historical imagery, and that right there in itself will teach you secret places. And that's what am I not right, man? That's what a lot of people are doing, and just that's their homework.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the last, our classic there, fish we caught. We're up by the bridge, caught a good one there, but we had 2 other spots that we caught fish that I'd never fished before, and they paid off. And I actually fished them here recently again, and they paid off. So keep trying new things, try new spots that don't look obvious. Right over it with your graph. Look, see what's there. Give it a shot.
So I'm gonna put y'all back on the spotlight again. Let's give them a spot. Give them somewhere. Give them something, geographic location, something that try to throw them a bone, help them out.
Well, I wonder, is he looking for something real deep?
Doesn't say. We can ask him, Jason, if you want to say, if you're wanting to. Oh, look at we got a visitor there.
Yeah.
Look at that shirt. While we're admiring this next generation here coming on, Jason, leave us a comment of you wanting to target something deep, wanting to target shallow, where you want to go. So who's this little man?
This is Max. He's the new addition.
Max is the new addition.
Yeah.
The next Nicolai generation coming on. Clell?
Yeah. Yes,
where's yours at? Yours gonna be
man, mine are all grown now.
So you'll be grandpa soon, huh?
Yeah, I hope not. Well, I say that, but if it happened, I wouldn't mind.
Well, Jason's not commenting back, so let's just say it's wintertime, so let's say a deep spot. Oh, here he is. He just says he needs to know where the big ones are. That's his comment. Just where the big ones are. So throw them something. Guys.
In the water.
No. Y'all are on the spotlight too much for just in the water.
Man, out in front of the pump station down there by the dam, man. I've been working on it a little bit and caught a few fish. You might try your luck at it.
Yeah. And Google Earth will teach you everything you need to know about that down there too.
Yes,
that's a good one. Thanks, Nicolai. I know that was hard. Clell, do you want to add another spot, or are you gonna stay silent?
You can't go wrong with any kind of road bed in any lake, So advice, go on Google Earth and pull up a map, find you some road beds, and go spend you some time out there. It takes time, and you don't get discouraged when you fish one. It might take you 2 hours to find a sweet spot. But once you find it, and there you go, you might catch 4, 5, or 6, or no telling.
Don't be scared to go deep, Jason. 30, 40 foot. Don't be scared.
That's really strong advice, man. For road beds are even if not just existing road beds, or when they did clearing in a lake, it's a highway. And I've heard this said by many, many people. It is a highway for those fish. They know it's there. The contours are different, and they literally travel it. So that was some free, strong advice right there for you, Mr. Brown. So take that to the bank and cash it. So David Adamson has a question. What type of soft plastics do y'all like to throw on y'all's ball and chain?
Man, we grew up on lizards, mad twos, tricks. A lot of reservoirs ain't really ain't done too well with the lizard, but mag twos and tricks.
What about you, Clell?
Yeah, I like the Magnum 2 worms. I fish a lot of them. That, and You know, I like a lot of Yum and Zoom products. Usually what I throw a lot of on some of the new power bait.
So I want to ask y'all a question. Can y'all remember what was y'all's dad's favorite bait to throw on a Carolina rig? Like, oh, that was my dad.
And, so many baits, man. Our dad's fished for so long. Like, it depends on what lake we were at. Hartwell, Parkhill, Russell, Oconee. You know,
Let's say
there were so many. But if we were like up Oconee, just say we was up 20, you know, up the river towards Redlands, it would be a cotton candy lizard, mini lizard. We caught a lot of fish on that, and just a small U-tail cotton candy up in that muddy water worked really good.
Gosh, I wouldn't think that with cotton candy, a small one. I mean, Oconee's a fairly muddy lake as it is, ain't it?
It gets muddy on that end.
Yeah, it's muddy. It stands out just enough in that water. The fish love it.
What about you, Nicolai? What was your dad's like? That's it.
Red shad was one of his favorite colors.
Yes.
Chartreuse and pepper.
Chartreuse and pepper. You talking about red shad? That made me think of something. Do y'all remember the old culprit worms? I believe it was in the black and gold. Y'all remember that old color?
Yeah, Tennessee shad.
You
wouldn't call that?
No, I don't think it was called that. I don't even remember the name of what it was called, but I mean it was solid jet black and it had a very distinct gold color, two-tone, like split in half. It was, man, sorry, I ain't that old, but I remember that worm pretty good. Pond hopping. So let's get back in here. Mac Dole. If y'all had one bait to fish all year long, what bait will that be?
Ball and chain.
I mean, me would probably be a buzz bait, but you know, honestly, it'd be a ball and chain too. But I love throwing that buzz bait.
So what's the?
I know it is.
So let's hear this buzz bait. What is the coldest water temperature you've ever caught a buzz bait fish on?
Oh man, I've caught them in pretty cold water.
I remember the first tournament me and him won was at Varner with high voltage. No, sorry, it was with Dixie. And it was 56 degrees, and he nailed 3 in the first hour. And we couldn't get bit again. We went to the total opposite end of the lake, past everybody in the back of a creek. And I put on a popping R, and there were some fish kind of not schooling up, but they were feeding. And I was able to pick up, I think, 3 or 4 more, and that gave us our limit. That won it for us. I remember that water temp was 56. It was cold.
They'll chomp it in 40 degrees too, though, if conditions are right.
That's one of the coldest I've seen.
Yep. So Michael Cheek is, I believe this is a good suggestion as well. Back to Jason Brown's question. I'm assuming that's what he's referring to. Just go to the community holes. There's places everyone knows. So everybody agrees to this. When you're out there, keep your head on a swivel. Everybody knows fishing spots and stuff like that. You watch and you see other people, you can kind of catch on to it. So like you said a minute ago, Clell, put your homework in yourself, figuring it out, and you'll get those little sweet spots. So for too long, we might be asking Jason Brown where those secret holes are at and where them big ones are at, right?
I've been meaning to check that timber.
And pigs.
Travis Simmons, do either of you fish a tube in the summer months?
If I do a tube, it's probably going for bedded fish.
But he's specifically asking in the summer months, though. So I'm assuming post-spawn.
Yeah, I've actually, not on this reservoir. We was fishing Logan Martin, and I pulled up this creek, and I was fishing a green pumpkin tube on this just little ledge. And the docks were probably 2 foot, but I probably had one of the best days I've ever had fishing the tournament on the tube. But I haven't had another day like it since. But I'll still throw it, just hoping.
Swinging for the fences, right?
I think I know Dad. He kept a lot of them. He fished them.
I've gotten away from tube fishing, man. That used to be one of my favorite baits, but I've grown away from it. So Charlie Dick saying it, there it is. And I believe this. If you go back to the question from Jason Brown, right there's a bait that'll catch you some big ones. Baby brush hogs. You cannot go wrong with a brush hog. If it's a baby one, if it's the normal size, and if it's the new, whatever the Magnum size is called, you can't go wrong with a brush hog. 12 months out of the year.
Amen. Amen.
One of the most versatile soft plastic lures ever invented right there.
One of my favorites.
So Lander Johnson's got another question. How fast do you reel the buzzbait now?
I mean, me personally, I like to fish it, slow a lot of the time. So I like it to leave that trail, and I sort of bend mine down where it hangs down in the water and just barely like bloop, bloop, bloop. I like a certain key.
It's all about the sound that gurgle is making, like barely keeping pace, but it's got that squeaking noise going on at the same time. There's a certain sweet spot.
What's your favorite buzzbait to throw?
Chartreuse and white, double blade.
I was meaning name brand.
I don't make them no more.
I throw X Factor.
X Factor.
I live and die by it.
Y'all whopper ploppers? Y'all like whopper ploppers?
I don't fish
you'd have to ask Jeff that one. He's the expert on it.
Jeff saw he's the expert on it.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Jeff Davison, he knows all about it.
Yep, Jeff Davison saying crawdad color. That is the color to throw, he's saying. Ron Pendergrass, personal best spot, 6 pounds, was on a chartreuse pepper, mini lizard, Carolina rig, 1996, Lake Lanier. And I'm sure each and every one of us can remember if you've hit that 6 pound range in a spotted bass, you won't forget it, will you?
No, sir.
Y'all both landed 6 pounders spots?
I've never caught a 6 pound spot. My uncle caught one of the 6 pounds, and that's a tank. Really, that's impressive.
I believe I had one on, but I was probably 8 years old. We were pretty much drop shotting on a brush pile. Actually, we were striper fishing, but we stopped and hit this brush pile, and I had one on. Seen it one time, and once it seen the boat, it took off, and it never looked back, and it finally ended up breaking the line.
What time of the year was that,
Nicolai? That was February.
Okay.
It was cold. That was February.
Most of my biggest spots usually come around probably post spawn. It's usually whenever I catch my biggest ones. I love it when it floods. Get it when it gets up into the timbers. If it's a spotted bass lake, oh, man. So, folks, make sure, leave us some comments, some questions if you got them. I know we're going on about an hour here. I don't want to keep these men too long. So, I'm going to take just a brief moment while y'all are coming through getting some more questions together. And I'm going to take and let y'all know, get on here, leave us a comment, like this feed. I won't say video, but being it's through with YouTube and through with Facebook, make sure, give us a like, and you have to leave a comment. And it can be on either platform. We'll go through and check it. And we'll be doing a random giveaway for one person. So make sure, get on here, leave us some comments, questions that you might have for these guys tonight before we conclude our show. So let me back up this on Miss Landry Johnson saying it's kind of cold now. Laugh out loud for, I guess, this time of year for throwing buzz baits. So I do not disagree with that. There's a lot of shad kill that's happening from what I'm hearing from folks. Ron Pendergrass, firecracker tubes for spots. You ever heard of firecrackers?
No,
I ain't either.
no, sir.
I have not. Maybe we might need to check that out. Jeff Davidson saying that's the culprit color. So I'm assuming he's talking about maybe that black and gold that we was talking about earlier. Or maybe he's talking about this. Whopper Plopper 110 and bone catches bigs.
There you go.
And it does. You cannot go wrong with that bone color. Cannot. Ron agrees, catching big spotted bass March. Yep. Here we go. Mason Williams. Appreciate you getting on, leaving us a question. So what kind of boat setup? And I know we've kind of ran through this the past 2 years, and I know we've kind of have not went through the topic again tonight, but Mason, I will mention this. Go back into our YouTube from last year and check out the interview that we done. Nicolai actually done the interview outside at his boat and went through the full setup. Nicolai, you really haven't had anything changed through with the boat setup and just some minor changes, but go through and tell us about it. He wants to know boat setup do you guys use and how many graphs do you guys use and what kind of graphs do y'all use?
Well, these Lowrance 12 live. I've been looking at getting a second 12. Be nice to have another one, but I'm a Lowrance fan, so really it's just whatever your preference is.
And you're fishing out of your boat. What was it again? You set up?
It's a 17-foot tracker. I believe it's a 96, but it's all been redecked aluminum. Very spacious, got plenty of compartments, so there ain't no clutter, and you got plenty of room. I got a big open spot in the floor where you can put the fish, net the fish, get them down in the floor, and do what you got to do, or just sit down and take a break for a minute.
And I'd say this, one of the most unique things of your boat, because we fished that benefit toy drive event back in November at Hickory Log, which is probably you would relate that more to the Dead Sea than Allatoona.
It's
right?
fun. I got to see a new lake. It was for a great cause, and got to fish with you. So
Then it went south from there, right?
I had a good time.
So one of the things that I was really, really impressed about your boat setup is, and it's in that interview from last year, Mason. Go back and check it out if you didn't see it. Is you run the Elco EP20 and it's got the electric steer, and it's literally a Panther setup, wasn't it?
It's a Panther T4, I believe. I mean, it's to me, it's ideal for what we do. I'm surprised I haven't seen more of them on the water.
Out of all the guys at the state championship, yours is the only boat that I have seen it. I mean, it's a wired or a wireless remote setup to where you can literally steer, and it reaches the wire reaches all the way to the front. And if you haven't done it, would you not agree with this Nicolai statement? But having a remote setup like that for steering, with removing that console, opens a floor plan up in a boat tremendously.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, it gives you more advantage of shifting your weight around in the boat, front to back, see where it gets the most speed or whatever it is you're looking for. Say if it's a real windy day and you got some big waves, well, the two of you can get way in the back and get the front end up, where it ain't splashing too bad. So
Right.
there's a lot of advantages to it.
So Landry saying it again, Biggins. Ron Pendergrass, what determines when you throw a rattle trap? And I'll go into the next part in a minute. What would make y'all like, aha, that's a situation to where, or a condition to where you know that it's right to throw that rattle trap?
Man, to me, it's just a feeling. You gotta feel it. You know what I mean? Just it's hard to explain for me, I guess.
Is there a time of year that you like to throw a trap better than others?
I favor mostly the fall coming out of the winter, but I would say November to February is when I've had most of my luck. To me, it's more of a cold water bait for good fish.
What about you, Clell?
Yeah, I'll throw it year round. You know, that's one of them baits I'll have tied on. You know, summertime, fall. I feel like if you know, there's a bunch of bait fish and ball of bait with fish schooling on it, you can always throw a 1/4 ounce blue chrome out there and catch them. You know, but yeah, it's big fish for a rattle trap. I'd say fall.
Yeah, I mean, it's great summertime schoolies or whatever. You know, you can chunk it a mile, you can rip it in real quick. I mean, it's got a lot of hooks, so it's great for schoolies.
Y'all like throwing the golden chrome?
I've never been a fan.
Yeah, I got a couple. It's I ain't never had a lot of luck on it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, huh?
Really, there's just two colors I know I go by: chartreuse and black, and blue chrome.
So he was saying, Ron was going to expanding on that firecracker. It's an old school color: red, blue, silver, black, flex, in a clear tube or worm. I have seen those colors. Now that I've read that, I have seen them. Just didn't know the name to it. Oh, it jumped me there. People leaving comments. Appreciate y'all leaving questions here on this. So when you guys are throwing an A-rig, what is your best color swim bait, say in a clear water lake you're fishing?
I mean, really, you can't go wrong with this white all year round. Dirty, clear. Really, all I throw white.
What do you say, Clell?
Yeah, you know, depends on what lake I am fishing. I like that pro pearl, you know, color with the little white gray with a little pink on top, you know, something like that.
Okay, so Jason Brown. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say, if you want to go for hybrids or stripers, if your lake's got it, you know, throw some kind of chartreuse swim bait in there. You know, that's real good with the hybrids.
Yeah. So Jason Brown's back asking another question. Do you guys use or plan on using the Lowrance Active Target? Just curious your thoughts on it.
I have the Lowrance live site. I like it. It ain't really comparable, I guess, to the Panoptics. I don't think it's as good. That's why Lowrance came out with this Active Target. So I'm kind of excited to purchase that and try it out. Because from what I can tell, watching videos and reading, it's just as good, or maybe even have better features. I ain't looking forward to the price tag though.
Yeah. So Travis Simmons asking, do either of you fish a swim bait? And if so, what conditions are you looking for? And it can be hard or soft body, but single swim baits.
I like Mega Bass. Brian with DBK, he makes a lot of them, and that's where I've been getting mine from. And He's got some pretty awesome colors that I like, and they have been paying off for me. But suspended fish, a little bit of bait fish, I feel like you need to see that to be able to throw it and get some responses. You might be able to throw it up against the bank, a little shallower one, and catch some fish off there. But out in the open, I need to see the bait and fish on the graph. Same thing with an A-rig, If I see them, those are two baits that I'll be tossing out.
Waiting on you, Clell.
Ah,
I seen that head. That head was bobbing whenever we was
I
talking
was
swim
waiting
bait.
on your cue right there. Man, I like throwing a little underspin, with a little contact on it. I enjoy throwing that, and at Varner, I love throwing the Strike King on a swim head out there catching them hybrids. I enjoy doing that, but that's about the only two swim baits I usually throw. Pretty limited.
I am getting into the swim jig a little bit. Just a regular old swim jig, not chatterbait, but I'm trying to get into it and learn it a little better. But as far as full bodies, plastic swim baits, I don't really throw them. Bull shad, I don't even know if I own one of those. So
You said you do own one, or you want to own one?
I don't I don't have one. I haven't gotten into it. I've never purchased one. I don't know if I'd like it or not. I've got a buddy who's got some that are 2-3 ounces, and it's like throwing a boulder when it hits the water. It makes a big splash, and they got an 8-foot rod that's just extra heavy and this big geared reel. It's really not my cup of tea, from what I can tell.
I'm telling you, I'm sure y'all both have watched the previous shows. But I went out with Randall Kirkpatrick one time with his swim baits that he was making, and we went at Hickerlog. You've heard that story of me out there at Hickerlog. I mean, it's just unreal at the fish that you see coming up. I'm talking as your old partner was saying earlier, I believe Beggins. So so Landry, I'm gonna skip something right here and come back to something in a second. But Landry's saying, "Come on, Clell, wake up." So does Clell sleep in the back of the boat too, like he's doing on the show a little bit?
He'll get back there and daydream a little bit.
Not usually.
He just does his thing, He's shy. He don't do interviews and cameras, That's not his thing. He just wants to go fishing.
That's all I like to do is fish.
Clell, I can tell Nicolai's probably going to be pretty calm, cool, and collective. But you get up there to weigh in, and you got a big bag coming into this in May. How do you think you're going to handle it?
Oh man, I'm excited. Like every tournament, like I don't sleep before the tournament. I just love it. You know what I mean? Like if we got a big bag, it won't be the first time. Yeah, I'll be smiling. I can't do that. I'll be smiling.
So Donnie Boone, president of High Voltage, he's asking the main question is, are y'all ready for this Saturday?
I've been ready. Can't wait. I think it's going to be a great year for the club, for us.
And that's where y'all fishing y'all's first event at?
It'll be at Hard Labor this Saturday.
Hard Labor.
I know there's a lot of them chomping at the bits, ready to go.
So you might be down there at the dam fishing that tower with some deep water bass, biggins. Maybe.
I'll be down there at some point in the
time. I got you. So they man, I'm telling you, the comments are coming in on you, Clell. So I'm going to keep rattling your cages. Says Clell looks like he's about to pass out. Quiet guy.
It's been a long day.
Man, I don't know what just happened to y'all's audio feed, but man, it just went weird. I might need to hear y'all to say something again. It's sounding like it's muffled really, really, really bad.
Is that any better?
No.
I don't know what happened.
You might have to log out and log back in, maybe.
Ain't no better.
Nope. Log out and log back in real fast, and I'll bring you back.
All right.
So, folks, while he's doing that, trying to get his audio feed back up, we're going to be concluding the show here just in a little bit. So, if we don't have any more questions coming through for these anglers, we'll be concluding it. So, take your time. Go ahead and sit down. Leave us a comment. Questions you want to ask them. That's the way you're going to get entered in. So, leave us a comment. Like it. That's the way we're going to take and enter you in for the drawing coming up. Be this Friday night. All right, Nicolai, let's hear you. Yeah, y'all.
We're good?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
Totally good. Totally good. I don't know what happened there. I guess, man, Clell, when it woke you up, man.
Well,
But I like to go back to Donnie. I like to tell him thank you, for running cold water. Great club. Another great club, high voltage. I think it's one of the biggest and best clubs in Georgia. So appreciate it, Donnie.
yeah.
Yes. High voltage is definitely one of the backbones to John boat fishing here in the state of Georgia. So I know that's where I wasn't necessarily a member, but that's where I cut my teeth in on John boat fishing as well. So 5-inch bull sheds works for tournaments. Ron Pendergrass, he says it. So I didn't see this comment. Mac Dole said that Clell broke the audio on your device there. So
You might have.
my head. So what's y'all's favorite rods to use, and also reels?
Well,
I like my 7.6 medium heavy with my 8.1 to 8.3 to 1 was it smoke?
yeah, it's quantum smoke.
Yeah. That's my favorite rod.
I'm gonna say my 7.3 medium heavy black ice, same reel, 8-to-3-to-1 gear ratio.
That high ratio definitely helps to be able to crank it, get it going.
It does. I will change the reels out on the pole, depending on if I'm throwing spinnerbait or even a rattle trap. I'll go to a 6.3 gear ratio. I'll change it. But that higher gear ratio is great for dragging something on the bottom where you can get that slack up fast.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw a little plot twist in on this. So this Saturday, high voltage. Who do you think is going to come out on top?
There's some good ones in it. I hope it's either Clell and his partner or mine and my partner. But
That's right.
It'll be tough.
You always got to look out for Driggers and Haney and all them boys. They good fishing.
There'll be a lot of boats this weekend. I'm expecting, 25, maybe 30 boats, depending on the weather.
So y'all ain't going to have the potential of it, I don't believe. But I know we're watching the weather for our tournament coming this weekend. But I mean
it's getting warmer. It ain't nothing like they were showing late last.
Yeah, we was watching it last week, and I mean everybody looking at it and getting nervous, like, uh-oh, it may be a sure enough white one out there. So, which it snowed our first term of the year the entire time. So, Mac Dole says, great team, Daniel and Clell. Looking forward this year. Thanks for y'all's time doing the video tonight. Appreciate that, Mr. Dole, you getting on and checking us out. So, let's hear predictions going into this event, May 29th, 2021, ePropulsion TEC, Hard Labor Creek Reservoir. what do y'all? What's y'all's take? Y'all have fished it cumulatively for what, 5 years of it? So let's hear it.
I say 22, 23 pounds. You know, probably 8.5 big fish.
Wow, that's swinging.
About you?
Still take a bag. That's 20 pounds plus.
You said bag of what? Bag of what?
20 pounds or plus.
20 pounds plus.
20 plus. Caught on a buzz bait, first thing, right?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Don't doubt him.
I know that's
He'll
right.
swing it all day.
Don't let me get a bite the first hour.
So I want to ask this. Are you the type of a buzz bait to throw it from beginning of day to end of day, or just morning bite only?
No, sir. I'll throw it all day. I'm a believer. 11 o'clock. Find that little shady spot in the back of a little pocket, and main feeder ditches, and they'll hit it.
I think the better fish should come from 12 to 3 o'clock when the sun's the highest. Yeah. Believe it or not.
And there's a lot of places for them fish to hide at hard labor. A lot of places.
There's plenty of shade down low. We'll come up out of it.
So, Jeff, I'm going to get here on this. So, Jeff said this all day, have to commit to topwater bite. A whopper plopper man himself, right?
Yeah.
So, if there's no more questions, guys, kind of stall here for just a second. Again, Daniel, Clell, I appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all's dads taking time and taking y'all out fishing and making those memories and giving y'all the knowledge that y'all have gained from all the years. So this is kind of a living tribute to previous generations raising up kids, and commend both of y'all for your generations coming on as well, doing the same to them.
Appreciate it.
Trying. I got one that's interested and one that he ain't too interested in. I'm hoping the youngest, he has some interest in it. So
yeah. I'm taking Clell with me to teach me on some buzzbait tips if he don't fall asleep in the boat with me.
Oh, don't worry about that.
he can't go to sleep when he knows he's got to go fishing. He won't sleep.
I won't sleep. I love it. That's what I was raised doing, man. I love being on the water.
Well, if you're about like my partner, when I get out there and I get to fishing with JV, it's if they're biting, he'll stay, pretty focused. But if they ain't biting, kind of like Nicolai day up there in November at hard labor, at Hickerlog, like that was a derailment. It's tough to focus to anything, ain't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
But man, I appreciate y'all tonight getting on here and believe Mason wasn't it, I believe. Go back and check out that video from last year. You can go through and see him walking through, showing the boat from front to back and all the setup on it. So I'm looking forward to seeing y'all May 29th, Hard Labor Creek Reservoir, right there where the concrete meets the water's edge, and seeing y'all come back in at the end of the day with that boat weighted down with y'all's limit of fish.
Right. I hope so. I hope.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. And again, I'll conclude the show here. Mason, I'll take and if I can get back on this and figure out a way to leave a comment on it, I'll do that. So that way you can find it. Go to our YouTube channel, go into the past videos, and you should be able to find it there from the TC angler interviews. And I think it's even also on our website as well. I've got the link in on that as well. So,
He he may even find pictures at Piedmont Customs too of it.
Yep.
Go to
Hey,
Frank Piedmont Customs. He's probably got pictures of it too.
I didn't think about it. He's on Facebook with it or website.
Yes. Yep.
Piedmont Customs. Yep.
He built the boat, the deck, so he'll have pictures of it.
It's actually Piedmont Custom Fab, right?
Yep.
Yep. And that's FAB. So, yep. I appreciate it, men. Y'all hanging in with us here, and Clell, you staying awake for the duration of the show. We'll make sure. Are you a coffee drinker, Clell?
Yes, sir. I like coffee in the mornings.
We might have to bring you a big old cup of Joe up there on the day of the tournament. What do you think?
Man, I don't think you have to worry about me on the tournament. I'm telling you. I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
Good deal.
Cooperate.
Good deal. Well, man, I appreciate y'all tonight tuning in, both of y'all, and we'll see y'all in just a couple of months.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate
everybody else.
All right. Y'all take care.
Thank you, man.
You too. See you.
See
you. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight, watching our Hooked Up Live with Coldwater Bass Club, Daniel Nicolai, and Clell Carnes from that with Coldwater Bass Club. So we'll be back here in just a couple of weeks. So make sure to leave us a comment, like it. You'll be entered in for our drawing at the end of the week for our sponsor item. So that's a wrap. See you all on the next one.
Don't know if I'm